Memphis, 1968. Sanitation workers had endured years of low pay, no overtime or benefits, and unsafe working conditions. The city ignored their grievances. The mayor, Henry Loeb, refused to talk with their union.
It has been held that all employees of a municipality may not strike for any purpose. This, of course, includes employees of the Public Works Department.
Mounting tensions finally erupted in February when 2 workers were killed on the job.
When it would rain, some men would go out to work. That's why those men was out there, and they were getting in that compactor to keep the rain off of them. And that's when they hit that electrical switch, and they got crushed in that thing. Their families didn't get no compensation. So the men, we decided that this is it. We ain't gonna stand no more. We just ain't gonna take no more. And that's what we did. We walked out.
I Am a Man became their rallying cry for basic human dignity. For 1,300 sanitation workers, their struggle became a matter of life and death. Richmond, Indiana, the year 2000. Different city, different year. But workers in Richmond's street and sanitary department were confronted with the same life and death struggles. For Jeff Millsap, that threat became real when a trench collapsed, burying him alive under 2 tons of gravel.
Now, I remember saying to myself, this is the last chapter in this storybook, Jeff. And then it sounded like a bunch of dogs digging, and I could hear them screaming and hollering, and they had dug me out with their hands. That was it for me. And I think it woke a lot of other people's eyes up, too.
Workers were fed up with unsafe conditions and the indifference of bosses. They wanted change.
Our first issues were health issues, safety issues.
We have to work holidays and weekends. We're 7 day a week, 24-hour operation.
Now we're worried about them wanting to privatize us, the way they're cutting manpower down, making the workloads heavier on everybody. You know, they just don't care.
We felt like it wouldn't be any problem then for the city to recognize us. We thought we had it made.
Now, determined to get their union, workers began to organize.
This is going to be our chance to show them that, you know, we care about our jobs, we care about our city, and hopefully have them listen to us a little more.
So we can count on your support then.
For sure.
They wanted the union, but like I said, they'd been beaten down so many times, some of them was a little hesitant to sign. But within 2 weeks, everyone had signed.
The workers called for a real voice in the workplace. But Richmond Mayor Dennis Andrews was defiant. He refused to honor the city's long-standing collective bargaining ordinance, and Andrews thought he could get away with it. So the workers took their fight to the community.
We knew if we got the community behind us, that would really help us out.
We got out in the public a lot, took petitions out, you know, getting public support, getting signatures from people, showing that they supported us on getting a union.
This is News Center 7's Night Beat at 11.
A year-long campaign by some Richmond City employees gains national support. The workers are trying to win a voice on the job.
Even with the media attention, Mayor Andrews still refused to listen. His hard position recalled the actions of Memphis Mayor Henry Loeb 32 years earlier.
I suggested to these men today that you go back to work.
In 1968, AFSCME workers in Memphis went out on strike when the mayor refused to recognize their union. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. came to Memphis to boost workers' morale and strengthen their resolve.
Whenever you are engaged in work that serves humanity and is for the building of humanity, it has dignity and it has worth.
32 years later, the spirit of that struggle came to Indiana. 600 religious, community, and student supporters joined hands with union members in a powerful show of strength for city workers. Memphis strike leader Taylor Rogers came to Richmond to urge the workers to stand firm and keep up the fight.
If you stand up straight and don't bend your back, people can't ride your back.
The spirit of Memphis was reborn in Richmond, Indiana.
Stay out there, hang in there, keep on fighting, stand up tall, and get your recognition. And thank you very much.
Nice to meet you. I'm Dan Harris, spoke to you on the phone.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Nice talking to you again. There's a man that had 30 years ago had went through the same thing we were going through. The majority of the people that were there at that rally understood right off that it doesn't make any difference if it was 1960 or whenever or 1990. People still fighting for what's right.
With the community united, workers took the city to court to get the mayor to live up to the city ordinance. The mayor tried one last time to silence the voice of the workers.
We went back to the city council and said, put him in jail. Why is he any different than me? If I was to disobey a court order, I know where I would be. Why is he any different?
The mayor, caving in to the media attention and political pressure, resigned. The city council appointed a new one. Finally, nearly a year from when they started to organize, the Richmond workers had won the right to vote and voted overwhelmingly for AFSCME. The city newspaper called on Mayor Shelley Miller to recognize the union. Instead, she threw out the victory. Like Dennis Andrews, she thought she could steamroll the workers.
But we wore her down too, and she finally gave us recognition. It's amazing how I feel. Just the pride that we have stuck together for so long. I feel like more, we're a family. A lot of us have worked there for a long time. And we're finally sticking together. You don't have that bickering, like you have a lot of workplaces. This has really brought us together. And we're gonna stick it out until we get a contract.
It doesn't make any difference if you're black, if you're white, or rich or you're poor. People ought to have the right to basic needs and things that they want to do in life, and having a union is one of them.
Dr. King didn't die in vain. I believe he knew something was going to happen to him, but he had got to the place where it didn't matter no more. As long as people were getting justice, that's what he was all about.
We've got some difficult days ahead, but it really doesn't matter with me now, because I've been to the mountaintop. I just want to do God's will, and he's allowed me to go up to the mountain. And I've looked over, and I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land.